Hey, what is up, everybody? Man, I haven't seen you guys in a long time. I've had a lot of stuff going on. Of course, a lot of you guys know I got married, and since I got married, we looked for a new place. We finally found our new place. We moved, our kids moved, so we've been doing a lot of moving, and we're still not quite through. But I just had to get a show going because, you know, I missed you guys. I had to be able to see you and talk to you and chat with you. Um, but show is back. It's been over a month, and a lot's happened. A lot's been going on. So um, I'm ready to get the show going again, and hope you guys will participate. You guys got some questions? Drop them in there. Um, if you guys have anything you want me to do as far as the show, man, shoot me out these suggestions or shoot me an email beyond.woodline@gmail.com. I'd be happy to put on whatever you guys need me to put on. Uh,
Hey, Sharon.
yeah, Mr. Wendell has his fan club joining. Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, so real quick, man, if you guys, if you don't mind, Wendell, this is my guest, everyone, by the way, Mr. Wendell of Bigfoot 911. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you started into this crazy world?
Well, I've had several experiences throughout my life of just crazy stuff. Uh, Started off when I was about 3 or 4. I got run over by a taxi cab, and then I had a reoccurring dream that I was riding a bicycle through a cemetery for several years, and I finally passed it one day on when I was out making deliveries after I was about in my 20s,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, and I've seen what I think may have been possibly UFOs a few
Mhm.
times. I lived in a house that was supposed to be haunted, which I never seen or heard anything. But I had a cousin that was run out of it. I had a cousin that was run out.
Mhm.
He was sitting there on. He's come and spent was staying with us for a while, and the way the house was set up, there was two ways to get to the kitchen, one through the living room and one through my bedroom. But he was sitting there about 1 o'clock one night. He heard what a baby crying,
Okay.
and so where was that? People do cut through the yard, and one of them could have had a baby. So he just wrote that off.
Mhm.
And then he heard the refrigerator door open and close, and he kind of chuckled to himself. Said, somebody must be getting the baby some milk.
There you go. Yeah.
But then he's just sitting there watching TV, and a few seconds later, there's this guy in a blue pinstripe suit come walking into the living room out of the kitchen and sit down beside of him, and he could see through him.
Wow.
He got up, he left. He didn't turn off no lights. He didn't turn off the TV. He didn't shut the door. He didn't tell
Hmm.
nobody he was gone. And we
Yeah.
didn't catch up with him for 2 or 3 days. Then we for him to tell us what happened.
So,
And
did he ever say if the guy like paid him any attention? Did the guy know he was there? Did he ever say
uh
one way or the other?
no, he just said he come in and sat down and kind of looked over at him.
Mm, okay.
And when we moved in there, the people across the street said our house was haunted. They said that there's a lady shot her husband in there for cheating on her,
Mm,
and there was supposed to be some drug addicted young couple that had supposedly buried a baby outside my bedroom window.
oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so maybe that's where the baby cry came from. But
Yeah.
like I say, I never heard it, and I was in that room.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
I no, I'm just gonna say, I've seen like a smoky like apparition twice in the same house that I used to live in a long time ago, and but I never seen like a full body. You know.
I've actually got a picture of the same thing that you mentioned right there in our house where we lived up here in Heflin, and we could smell them cooking,
Oh,
and it
really?
smelled really good too. You could one day it'd be roast, one day it'd be a cornbread, greens, uh, pineapple upside down cake,
Oh, wow.
uh, and in 2012, I'd gotten me a trail camera to take pictures of the wildlife out there in the driveway. And I was walking up to get it, and I found a large and a small track in my driveway.
Oh, wow.
I took I took pictures of them, and I didn't do nothing with them but just sit and hold them for till 2022 when I moved down here in Addison. And I found one of those Bigfoot uh, groups on Facebook and posted my pictures and said, "What do you think about these?" I didn't say it was something or not, and I put the tracks on there. I put the guy in the smoke on there, and another picture of something I got no idea what it is, and uh, the another podcaster named Bob Dog.
Yes. Yep. There you
He
go. He's a
he
good guy.
seen my post. He seen my post, and he contacted me and asked me if I'd be on his show and talk about it, my stuff. And so I did. I'd never heard of a podcast before, so that was fun for me. And now here I am. I'm knee deep in this stuff.
That's good, dude. Yeah, man. Bob's a good guy. I like him a lot. I've been on his show and he's been on my show. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, I've met him a few times. He's come to the Alabama Bigfoot conference. Greg Ogles did a uh, premiere of his new documentary. We went to it. Uh, we He's come to the meet and greets that Woodwalkers had, and the one that Mark with Cedar Creek Bottoms had. We've had several good encounters with each other.
That's good. Yeah, so I want to get back to you with the footprints that you found, uh, the two original. Have you done any research about that area that you live in? Had there been sightings?
Well, in 2020, February 2023, there was a sighting 3 miles from my house that the BFRO had reported.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. And
And
I was going to say, did you find anything about that sighting?
no, I just read what it said that there's the couple on their back porch and they heard the howling and seen it out their back door, and they turned and walked away down through the woods.
Oh,
So
that's
that
pretty
was
good.
interesting. And
Mm.
the next exit over a few years earlier, there had been somebody going to visit their father, and one crossed the road for them.
Mhm,
So I don't know if it's the same one that came through our area or if it's a different bunch over there or what.
mhm.
But that's on the other side of the Tallapoosa River from where I lived at.
Okay. And when you go out and do any kind of research or investigations, do you do it there primarily in Alabama?
Yeah, what I do, I ride over here and find a spot on the side of the road and sit and listen, maybe do a whoop or a knock, and or I go, like I say, to the meet and greets where we camp out down there. And we hear howls. People's had rocks, and, little sticks and acorns thrown at them. They've seen shadows moving through the woods that were quite large, and so yeah, we we got a spot that's pretty hot down here.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, so I'm here in Houston, in Texas, and just north of us is the San Houston Forest, and that's like my favorite place to go because it's a pretty active area, pretty active location. Uh, if you go to the right spots,
Yeah,
Yeah. What's up, Mr. Andrew? Thanks for tuning in, man. You guys go follow him. He's a great guy. Um, but yeah. I being here in Texas, it's such a great state to go and do all this crazy stuff with. Do you guys get any kind
you
of
go to
dog manning?
uh some of the howls we've heard, I think, may have been, and there are reports of them around Alabama here. Um, have you heard of Coombo? Tim
Oh yeah,
Coombo Baker?
Kumbo. Yeah, Kumbo Baker. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine, and uh, he's with the Woodwalkers. He's talked about him here, and uh, a lot of his experiences. I love listening to his stories.
Yeah. Squatch and Holler says, "Hey y'all, what's up, buddy? Y'all guys got to go follow him too, man. He's an awesome dude. One of the
Yeah,
best guys out
Roger,
there.
he's a real cool guy. I
Yeah, man.
like
He's
him a
he's a
lot.
he's a good dude. He's a good dude. I like him a lot, man.
I scared him one night at one of these meet and greets.
Oh yeah. What'd you do to him?
uh, Me, him, and another guy, I think his name was Scott, was walking back towards the back of the campground in the dark. I had my thermal vision, and they got a little bit ahead of me. And then they turned around, was coming back. He asked me if I seen anything, and I was going through there, and I said, "No, run!" he about had a heart attack.
How good does your thermal work? Is it a pretty good camera?
uh, it it does a
Just
fairly good job compared,
okay.
considering I bought it off of Temu for $38.
Mhm. Okay. Good. That's good.
I think it's starting to mess up. I don't think it's the batteries staying charged like it's supposed to now. But
So what's
anyhow, it worked good that night.
okay? Good enough that night to scare Roger a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
So what's like
And
some of the best evidence you've personally have captured?
well, like I say, the two tracks I found in my driveway back when in 2012, and then I got the track over there at Lake Cheneby, which measured 13 inches long and 7 inches wide at the top. And we heard the howls at our camp out, and I found a trackway of about 12 or 14 tracks up a little creek, but they wasn't large, and didn't have much detail to them. So I couldn't say it was or wasn't, but that was
Andrew's
interesting.
ask, yeah. Andrew's asking, what do you use for like a mic to catch sound?
Telephone.
Okay, yeah, dude, I've used my iPad several times. Works great. Yeah.
Yeah, usually that's all I got with me is my phone, so, especially since these uh night, night vision cameras started messing up on me. I've got a voice recorder if I can find it. I hadn't got to try it out yet.
Yeah, I've got like three different little recorders that I like to use. that I put out. But yeah, I use my phone, and like I said, I've used my iPad several times. They all work great, so I can't complain about that. I was going to show you this. Let's see.
Yeah. Patrick Noble was camping with us, and his tent got unzipped.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the next night, he didn't sleep in the tent. He slept in the chair outside by the fire ring, and he got his shoe caught on fire.
Oh, jeez.
He
Hey,
had to jump, jump up and stomp the fire out around on his shoe and around the fire pit. It spread.
Andrew, real quick, have you ever used those noise canceling headphones like the ones like construction workers use? It'll drown out any loud noise, but the slightest noise, man, you can hear it. So if you don't use those, man, check them out. But up here at Wendell, this is a print I got out in the San Houston Forest. This is it was 8-inch print. It's kind of a smaller print.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got this. It was out in the creek, out in the middle of nowhere, way off trail. So
So
that's
it could
what.
have been a juvenile.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Those that I found on that creek over here in the forest was possibly a juvenile running up through there, because
Okay.
it wasn't deep and it wasn't large, but it went at least 100 feet up the creek before they disappeared.
Hmm. Let's see. I'm gonna play some audio for you. Let me play it. Um, you were talking about that
Well, if
that
you
you
go
do
to
like
my
wood knocks and stuff.
yeah, uh, if you
Yeah,
go to my Facebook page and scroll down, there's two
mhm.
howls that was captured down there where we camp at. That Blue Eyed Northern and another fella, can't think of his name right off the bat, both recorded, and I got them posted on my Facebook page where people can hear them. All right, Greg.
It is like Windows with claws and not long. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Now, that's the fella you need on your show right there, Greg House. He's lived
Okay.
with these things that around his house for the past 25 years.
Name sounds familiar. I don't know if
He's
we're on Facebook or not, but maybe we're friends. I don't know, but yeah,
well, he's definitely somebody you need to get on. He's got some great stories for you,
yeah.
and they're
Okay.
from actual experiences.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. I need to look him up then.
Do you know Roger Williams was watching Holler?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, yeah. He's been on my show and I've been on his show too.
Okay, so you know his
Yeah.
stories then.
Yeah. For sure. And
He, I enjoy hanging with these folks. They're a lot of fun. And Greg is one heck of a cook.
okay. We need to get Greg down to Texas then. I'm not sure where he's at. We need to get him to Texas.
He's in
Okay, he's
North.
a coach.
He's in Alabama up here, about 2 hours away north of me.
Okay. And he says, a co-host of Woodwalkers. Cool, man. Dude, you can put your stuff in your link in the comment section, and everybody go check out his show. Go check it out. So, do you
Let's.
yourself take reports at all?
I've I've not had a chance to take many. I have
Mhm.
taken some from one fella, and I've gone with Mark Green off of Cedar Creek Bottoms down to a place they call Creepy Mountain to investigate some of the stuff going on there. And than where we go camping at. That's and all the people there's always got stories and things happening.
Do you have a favorite story that anyone's ever told you?
Well, I like the Rogers original story,
Mhm.
and I like Greg's story about the motorcycle, and a couple of the ones where his deers got stolen, and he was scared to come out of his tree stand one night, and
Hmm.
and uh, Mark, he was down there checking his deer feeder and caught something on a video that was behind a tree. Nobody could figure out what it was. And me and another fellow went down there with him at separate times, looking at the spot, see what it could have been. And when I was walking back up to the truck, there was something growled at us. We didn't hear it then, but I was playing it back on my big screen TV, and I heard it.
Oh wow.
So
Well,
yeah,
Andrew,
we've had a few interesting experiences.
When you do your and it's in October, shoot, keep in touch with me, man. Let me know what you got going on. I'll get you back on the show. And Greg here, what does Greg say? He says Kumbo is one of my best friends. I get to research with him. I was at his house Friday. Oh yeah,
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 they
yeah.
live uh, about an hour apart, half hour, something like that. They
Yeah,
go back
Kumbo's a
and
good
forth
guy.
to each other's house a
Yeah,
lot.
he's got some of the best stories actually too. Kumbo, he's got some great stories.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Greg's stories are good too. Uh, he's been scared a few times.
I was going to ask you that. Have you ever been scared or?
Well, I've never actually seen or heard anything until last October when we was down there at meet and greet with Mark Green, and it was Saturday Saturday night, Sunday morning, about 4 o'clock. I was out using the restroom, and I heard my very first howl.
Hmm.
That
Was
was
it?
interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it pretty close or just close enough?
It was just close enough.
Yeah, too close
It
for
wasn't.
comfort.
Well, it didn't scare me. I was excited for when I first heard this. I finally hear something. Then few seconds later, I was thinking, I better get out of the toilet here and go to get my car
Yeah, yeah,
because
wise choice.
I camp in my car. I don't use a tent.
No. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Hmm. Yeah, I've tried camping in my vehicle. It's not very comfortable, so I
well,
stick. I
my
stick.
front seat is actually pretty good.
Okay, well that's good, man.
Yeah, I got a 2004 Honda Element, and I
Oh,
actually have room if I wanted to. I can lay a cot down in the back of it, but I haven't. I just stuck with sleeping in the driver's seat where I could, if I was hot, I could crank it up, turn on the air conditioner or turn on the heater,
mhm.
and I got my windows down, my hatch open where I could hear around me. So
That's good.
yeah, I'm
That's good.
good. Yeah, our
What?
first meet and greet was in April of 2024 up at
Okay.
LBL, Land Between the Lakes.
What was that like being there?
It was it was interesting. Uh, I didn't have hardly anything that could be considered really anything, except I found some tracks in a dried up creek bed right there behind where we was camped, and Roger had something that was walking around behind his tent sniffing. Uh, we had we had a bunch of people. It was over 120 people camping in two different campgrounds up there, and uh, people had cabins rented close by, and it was a lot interesting. Uh, uh, Cam Buckner was there. Uh, Mary Fabian was there. Uh, Grizzly Chris off of Bigfoot
Yeah.
Outlaws, he was there. We had, like I say, we had a bunch of people.
Yeah, I've had Mary and Chris on the show. Yeah, and Wendell says, "Wait till one growls at you from 6 feet away."
Yeah, now that's happened at Greg's house.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, see, back in October of 2024, me and my buddy, we went out to this one location that we always go to that he had his sighting. Um, and man, we had movement all the way around us. We heard them splashing in the damn creek. And these things did whatever they were weren't running away from us, which really kind of freaked us out. You know, we
Yeah,
had something get thrown at us, not just through the trees, but also we heard something land in the road. Um, and we heard this, I don't know, that weird tongue popping, if you want to call it that. It's the weirdest damn thing, you know. Yeah.
I've not heard that yet.
Yeah, that was the strangest thing. I wonder if Greg's ever heard that, and if it's tongue popping at all. But that's what it
He's
sounded like. It reminded me of that movie Signs, the way those aliens spoke. That's what it
yeah,
reminded me of. It was a little bit deeper, but that's what it sounded like. It was like, what the hell was that? You know? Yeah, that was a crazy moment. And then
but
we just felt uneasy. We had to get out of there because, like I said, whatever it wasn't leaving. It was they were standing their ground, and I was like, okay, we got to go.
yeah, down here we have a place called Alabama Gold Camp where I can go down there and do some gold panning sometimes. And there's a lady down there reported seeing three white chimps playing in the creek.
Hmm. Okay.
And another guy was on the other side of the property panning and had rocks being thrown at him off the railroad up there,
Hmm.
splashing in the creek.
And Greg said that. I say Greg. I'm sorry, Greg. Greg said I've heard them talk back and forth. Also, that's interesting too because I've only heard what I don't know. You want to call it a samurai chat or whatever. I've only heard that twice. Um, then the first time I heard it was in that same location where we were at, but it sounded like a woman talking. Me and
Yeah,
again, Walter had that incident. Uh, we've also in that same location we found a tree twisted a branch, and it was like 12 feet in the air, hanging over the road. You know, you're talking, 4 or 5 miles back. You know,
yeah,
and when I posted that picture, the first thing people were saying was like, "Well, the 18 wheeler hit it, but 18 wheeler ain't going down this road." You know, I got a Chevy Colorado, and I can barely make it myself. Uh,
yeah,
and then it was in July, which so people were saying it's an ice storm. I'm like, well, it's July here in Texas. We don't have ice storms in Texas, in July, and certainly not wind damage because why was that the only tree that was damaged? But yeah, it wasn't just broken; it was twisted.
yeah.
Like a drag.
I found one of them about 8 foot tall,
Mm.
and I found a tree that had been cut down, but then stood upside down in the ground.
Mhm. And yeah, we oh really stood upside down on the ground. You found one like that, huh?
Yeah, and
That is so
I
weird. What do you
found
make of
one
that?
of uh, it's got to be some kind of marker as far as I can
Okay.
figure, because Daryl Denton, I mean Barton Nunley actually went down there and looked at the
Okay.
tree, and he couldn't find no marks on it where no machine had done anything. and there's some splinters sticking straight up, so there wasn't nothing pounded it in the ground. So
We found this hog here with his head ripped off.
wow,
Yeah, and see, there was damage or trauma right here to the back, like something had grabbed it. Like where you would grab a puppy by the neck.
yeah.
Yeah, it had no bullet holes, no arrow wounds, nothing like that. Just no head.
Well, I was over here at Sweetwater Lake in the forest, and I went down there with my dogs, messing around, and I found
Look at Walter.
I
Walter's the one that
found
actually found that hog. He says, "Oh, I remember that," and he remembers the. He was with me the night that we got ran out of the forest. Yeah.
well, what I was telling you, I found a deer hide that had been ripped off of and thrown down,
Mhm.
and moved around to the boat dock, boat ramp rather, where they look. And I found a fishing rod that was still cast out. I reeled it in. It had fresh shrimp on it. So I'm
Hmm.
wondering if the guy that was fishing there seen whatever it was, throwed that deer hide down and just took off.
Yeah. Yeah, we found abandoned campsites out there too. I don't know if Walter remembers
Uh,
that. We found.
Greg has some stories about some abandoned campsites too.
Yeah.
Uh, Things are fixing to get noisy here. My
Okay.
dogs are fixing to go crazy.
Okay.
So I don't know if we want to pause it or cut it off or what.
Well, if they get too loud, we'll pause it for a little bit, and I can talk, and if they calm down, you can come back on. But yeah, I'll keep the show going if they get loud.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Well, you can jump off a little bit and then come back on.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully he comes back on. I'm gonna try to find some pictures for you guys to show you what I was talking about. So me and Walter, I don't know if Walter's still here. Oh yeah, he said yeah. Joe and I ran out of the forest. Yeah, and he said you told that already. Yeah, I kind of got him the short version of that whole story. Yeah,
You can show 'em your truck while I'm on mute.
yeah, yeah. He says we are proud of Wendell. He's part of our family. Yeah, yeah. He seems like he's a great guy. So you know, I have to have you on sometime, Greg, too. If you're interested. Um, hey, Greg, did you see that picture I showed him of that track? I'm not sure if you saw that or not. The smaller, it's an 8-inch track. Team Wendell. Yeah, man, that was a scary night. I think that was probably one of the most scariest nights I had in a long time. And that was a couple of years ago. Can you believe that? That was in 2024. We need to get back out there again. Um, Man, I wish this thing let me play some audio. So I definitely want to. Uh, let's see, is he back on? Let's see. Not sure. See if I try back on. And yeah, Walter's got some good. He actually got some good audio of like tree breaks. Do you remember that? And that growl from out there that you got one time on your recorder. That was a good growl.
Okay, I think things have started settling down a little bit now.
Okay. I need to put all these audios together on a video because it won't let me play this audio.
You
So I'm
should have
gonna do
showed him
that.
your truck while I was gone.
Yeah, I think I did. I can show everyone again. I don't know who all saw it or who didn't see it, but I'll show it again. Uh, so I'll give you guys a track that I got in 2019. It was off trail. It was in the same, used to force down a creek. There we go. Stop smoking, Wendell. You're making me want one. Yeah, yeah. That's a track. It's an 8-inch track, and it was in the middle of a creek. It looked like it had stepped out from the behind the brush. Because there was brush where it came out from. There he goes. And Greg says,
Yeah.
find 18-inch tracks at my cabin. They slap my cabin wall every few months. Yeah. And Walter, one time, he went to this little area that I told him to go to because it was pretty calm and tame, and he wound up getting run out of that area too. He sent me the video, and him and his buddy were walking out, and I hear this loud ass thud, like bam, you know. And so I told him, I said, dude, did one of you guys fall down? He goes, no, that was a log they threw at us. It's so funny.
I'm having problems hearing you now.
Are you? Yeah, I got the tracks. Let me see if I can find some of those pictures and upload them. I'm sure I have them. Just gotta download them to the computer. Um,
Uh,
no, they're on my phone. You can't hear me?
Not really. I got my volume turned all the way up on my phone, and
Log out and then log back in.
okay.
Yeah. So let's see here. What are you saying, Greg? Greg says I saw a over 9-footer, 30 feet from my porch, standing in my yard when I drove up. Wow, that's pretty good. The one that Walter saw was 9.5 feet, and when Walter told me that, I'll be honest, I'm like, maybe that was a little bit too tall for here in Texas. But he said if there was a white spot on the tree, which is a fungus that his head was next to, and we went and we measured that tree, that white spot, 9.5 feet tall. I was like, holy shit. Is that a common size where you're at, Greg? 9-footers, or is that kind of a rare one?
Okay, I'm
Okay.
back.
Okay, good deal. Can you hear me now?
Not no. I don't know
Can
what happened
everybody
to
else?
the volume. Maybe my phone screwed up. I don't know.
Can everybody else hear me or hear Wendell? Sandra says, "Oh,
Let's
I
see
would have
if I
fainted."
can find something.
I don't know where those pictures are at, Walter, but I mean, I know I have them in my phone somewhere. Let me see.
Oh well,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
it's hard, very hard. It's-
I guess everybody else can hear both of us. You just can't hear me. I don't know what happened to those pictures, Walter. I got them on my phone somewhere, but be scrolling here all day trying to find them. Just don't remember when we went.
Well, yes, I'm gonna have to get out of here since I can't hear you to answer questions.
Okay, yeah, man, that's good. I'll hold the fort down for a little bit longer.
All right.
All
I'll
right.
go back out again and try it again one more time.
Okay. Okay,
All
that sounds
right.
good. Hey, okay. And Greg, I did want to ask you a question. 'Cause I got a picture here. I want you to see. I don't know if you can see it or not. Have you seen anything like that? This is a short version. I don't know, whatever. I, the people that sent it to me call it the little people, but I don't know if you know anything about that. It's here in Texas, as a matter of fact. Uh, yeah, yeah, my audio's good. Yeah, I could hear him good, and that's my mom said she could hear him, but I don't know what was going on. He's back on. Let's see if we can get back in here.
It's no better, so I guess I'm gonna
Okay.
have to get out of here where you can get
All
somebody
right,
else
sir.
on or something.
Yeah, I'll hold down the fort a little bit longer, then I'll jump off early, I guess. But yeah, man, dude, it was great having you on here.
Well, I was enjoying it, and I'll stick it here in the background and listen to you the best I
Okay,
can.
sir. Okay, sir. Sounds
All
good.
right.
Okay.
Talk to
All
you
right.
later. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye. Let's see here. Little bulkier than Patty. He said the boogers at his place. Were you able to see that picture that I posted up here, um, Greg? Or not posted, but showed off my phone. I had to get your opinion on that one. Some friends of mine from here in Texas sent it in to me. Let's see if I can find it again. No, I'm gonna have Greg on some other time. That way I have a whole hour with him. Let's see. I hate that Wendell left, but I understand. I'll probably jump off here in a few minutes too myself. But there you go. I gotta go, guys. Okay, take it easy, Greg. I'll be in touch with you. Well, sorry about that, guys. We had to lose Wendell. Couldn't hear me, so we're gonna call it a day. Wrap up the show. I'll be back on next Monday with my special guest. Let's see who it is. Sage Gato. So we'll put him on next week. And Wendell, I'll have to have you back on the show some other time. Maybe you and Greg can team up. You know, one thing I want to do is get like a round table with a bunch of guys. And yeah, Sandra says yes, Joe. Okay, Greg on. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to look him up right away as soon as I get off here, get in contact with him. But yeah, guys, that's one thing I want to do is get like a roundtable discussion going. You know, talk about all this cool stuff and just kind of pass, questions around. And what's up, Shannon? Miss Shannon? one of my former co-hosts, or the only co-host I've ever had on the show. Yeah, she was with me for quite a while, but yeah, yeah. I guess I'm gonna let you guys go. Let's see what did Walter say. My best friend was a non-believer. Took him out to your spot in the national forest, and all I can say is he doesn't want to ever go back. He's 6'3", 200 pounds, former corrections officer. Yeah, yeah, man. That forest will straighten you out real quick. The Sam Houston, it will. But all right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Like I said, sorry, show was short today, but I'll be back next Monday. Promise it'll be a great guest, and yeah, you guys take care. Like I said, if you guys have any ideas on who I should have on or what subjects to cover, man, shoot me an email, beyond.woodline@gmail.com. One guy for sure I'll have on is Greg. So yeah. All right, guys. You guys have a great night. Good talking to you. Good seeing you again after a long, long wait. But I'll be back on next Monday.